Hi chess friends, welcome to this new video. This time I want to show you why in chess you have to continue to play literally over all the game. Even if you are losing for material, even if your opponent is near to do a checkmate, even if you can't do nothing, you have to continue literally all the game. And this is a perfect example. I want personally to thank my subscriber that sent me this game. Really good share. Thank you really much. And in this game, my subscriber played with the white pieces, his opponent with the black pieces, and we will see a crazy changement of the results in the end of the game. Okay, so we can begin, and my subscriber opened with e4, c5 by black, and f4 by white. We have h6 and knight f3. The position for now is equal, and we have e6, a good move, and now a3. We have knight e7, and now bishop c4. The two players are continuing to develop his pieces, and black here could play maybe like d4 in the future, because this pawn is controlling this square, this knight is controlling this square, so could be a nice move. However, we have a6, and now d4 by white. We have c capture for d4, knight capture for d4, and now b5. In this way, black finds a good square for the bishop b7 to activate the bishop on this light square diagonal and attack the light square bishop of white. Okay, and here white decide to put the bishop here, a2, really nice square. In this way, keep an eye on this diagonal, and could be danger in the future, maybe with the idea to push f5 and to try to open this diagonal. And in this square on the a2 is not a target. Black pieces can't attack more this light square bishop. Okay, we have bishop b7 like prevented, and with the pressure for this pawn, for the e4 pawn, and now we have knight d2 to defend this pawn. Here white could also play knight c3 is an option, or could play queen a2 is a possibility. But however, the best move is knight c3. Okay, and knight d2 is not a really good move, because here you have to continue to keep your knight here to defend this pawn, and your bishop here is blocked. Can you see? If you play knight c3 and you develop your knight like knight d2, and you defend the e4 pawn, but you can develop your dark square bishop. So this is a really important difference. Okay, so we have however knight d2 and knight g6 by black. This pawn is attacked, and this bishop is not defending more. We have a castle, perfect move to continue to defend this pawn, and now the rook is on f file, and maybe f4 is coming, f4 f5 is coming. Okay, and really nice begin of the game. Okay, we have bishop c5. This bishop now is attacking this knight that is pinned, so here you have to defend, and we have c3. Perfect position for both players. Okay, with a really nice development. We have knight c6, and now this knight is attacked 2 times, and what can you do here? My subscriber decided to play b4, and in this position maybe you can defend in this way, on this way with the knight, because when you move this knight you defend this pawn 3 times, because not only with the pawn with the knight but with the queen. Okay, could be an idea. And this move is not a bad move, okay, but the best move here for a computer is to play knight b3, and here black could take capture, capture, and capture, and after knight b1 a crazy comeback, as this knight is attacked, so the knight has to come back, and here you can play knight c3, and computer suggests to come back because the knight d2 is not the best square for the knight, just to come back and then come here on c3. That is a perfect square, okay. However, the best move here is to come back, play bishop b6, and keep this double bishop, okay, bishop pair. But here black played after b4 a normal move, okay, because this move is an engine, is for engine. I think if you can take the pawn, you take the pawn, okay, a central pawn. So we have bishop capture for d4, and if you are thinking something like to capture this knight, okay, maybe you are thinking to do this, because if white captures, bishop capture, check, and king moves, and this rook falls, is not correct, because here white can simply capture the dark square bishop, okay, and the knight is attacked, and here has to come back the knight, for example this, and the game continues in a draw, and good for everyone, for white and black. But however, we have bishop capture for d4, and c capture for d4, and here black takes a pawn, and here white could continue in sorry about that, in a good way with knight b1, like I said, but we have knight f3 by white, okay, not a bad move. However, we have knight capture for f3, and now you have to capture this knight. Obviously, you could do with the queen, you could do with the rook, or you could do with the pawn. But if you do with the rook, is not really good, because this you have to keep an eye, because this pawn is attacked, okay, this pawn is attacked, you have to defend. So in this position, the best move is queen f3. You will develop this dark square bishop on this diagonal. Here black castle. I show you only one line continuation, and really good position for both player, okay. Or you can play f5 to try to broken up this defense, and open up this dark square line, and the rook on and the queen on a5. Really nice plan for white, okay. And here my opponent decided to take with the g pawn, and I think this is the first mistake of the game. This is the first really bad mistake of the game after several moves, because g capture for f3 ruins the pawn structure of white pieces, and this king here is so weak. If you want to open up the g file, maybe you want to bring the rook into the game, but on the g file maybe could be an idea of white. Rook king g1, rook g1 brings the rook here, and the bishop here to do this cooperation and put pressure on this diagonal. But maybe push, yeah, could be idea, but this plan doesn't work, because here follows this move, and now this queen is controlling this diagonal and is really strong. If white continue in the best way to bring the bishop here, black can simply castle, and after this move black can simply take this pawn, okay, and this is too slow. Simply this pawn is taken, and because there is no good way to continue this game, okay, because this is simply too slow, and this pawn can be pushed, because after capture this queen will capture this sorry capture this queen will capture this pawn. Okay, white push, and there is a changement of some pieces. Okay, if white tries this, can you see? And you can't open the g file like I show you, so the best move is to play queen f for f3. Okay, and after this capture, black decide to castle, not to play queen f6, the best move. Okay, was not easy move to find, but however black is here is in advantage. We have rook f2. The idea is to bring the rook into the game, and now queen b6 to develop a queen and to pin this rook. Okay, we have queen d3 with an idea to bring the bishop here. Really good move. And now we have d5. We have bishop e3, and now black decide to come back with the queen, but could be a changement of this pawn, and then to play this move to continue to put pressure on this pawn. And now, how can you defend this pawn? You have to play this, but it's so really passive. Follow this move, you can't capture because the queen will come on h1, devastating move, checkmate. Okay, so not really good position for white, but after this we have a comeback of the queen, and now we have a trade of some pawn. Okay, we have f4, f5 to try to open up some defense of in the king side, and we have knight knight e5. This knight here is attacking this queen, and he's attacking this pawn. So the position here for white is losing. Okay, queens come back, but now we have a trade of bishop. Okay, and now knight c4. Another idea of black here could be simply to take this pawn. Okay, but we have bishop knight c4 to attack this dark square. We have a sacrifice of the bishop, but this is not useful, because here black could simply capture, because this check is not so good. Okay, because there is no check on this diagonal. Okay, because this knight is controlling this square, because black could simply push, and this diagonal is not a possibility for white to do an attack. So after this capture, we have the e capture for f5, a good move, and now rook g2 with a nice pressure. And here we have queen d4 check, and in this position, after several moves, we have a draw, because here black after queen b6 is a perfect position. Okay, because could the dark square bishop. So if you play this move, you just win the game. You have so much material. Okay, check, and after the king move, bishop can be taken. It's not important if the rook double up, because this push is in this way. There is no way to open up this diagonal. Okay, you can push this pawn, because you can also take. Seems scary, but white has no compensation. Okay, and black here misses the idea and played queen d4. Queen d4 is a check, so king has to be moved, and now we have g6, because this move is coming, so you have to prevent this attack on the g file. And for this reason, I like this move, because behind there was a really nice plan of attack with the bishop, with the rook after the move of king, or like rook f2, and however bring the rook on the g file. I really like, but you have to maybe control better if you can do this attack, and or if it's only a weakness for your king, and in this position is a really too much weakness for the white king. Okay, for this reason it's not a good move. However, we have okay, after this check we have a g6 to close this the g file, a really good move. However, and we have a rook g1 instead to capture the rook. So another way to continue the game in a great style, sacrificing material, a lot of material. Here you have simply to capture, and the game continues in a draw. But white decide to play for the attack, so rook g1. Now rook is safe, so white continue, and we have a4. Not easy position for white. We have a queen h8 to attack this dark square bishop, and the bishop decide to come back. No, obviously no, because we have another sacrifice. So really nice style, really attacking. Okay, game. We have instead come back, rook capture for g6, pawn capture for g6, and now rook capture for g6, and we have king h7. And in this position, this king is attacking the rook, and if this rook moves, this king will take the bishop, and this position is completely losing for white. Okay, and there is a point here. White played this move with an idea to defend the rook and maybe do some check in this way and prepare some checkmate. Okay, because here you have to come back with the rook, but if you come back here, black has a lot of resource. You have not to capture the king. Okay, the bishop. If you capture the bishop, you lose queen g2, and now what can you do to defend from checkmate? Queen h3 is coming, queen g6 is coming, and you have no way to defend. You have to play this, but this is checkmate. Really nice checkmate with the queen sacrifice. Okay, so it's not possible to play this, but the winning move here for black is to play this. And the queen, if you play this, you attacking the queen, you have to change the queen, and when you are in advantage of material, you have to change the queen, because you don't allow your opponent to continue a plan of attack. Okay, and here white was attacking, and after this queen b2, maybe not an easy move to find. White has to change the queen, and after this capture, what can do white here? Has only a bishop and the rook against two rooks and the knight, losing. Okay, but after this move I show you what happened. Queen g2 to defend the rook, and the threat is rook g7. Okay, but here there is a problem. Black can play rook in 1, and this is check, and the only way is to bring the queen on g1, and here white lose the queen. Capture with the rook. If you capture with the king, you just lose the rook in this way. So, and now the bishop falls also. King capture for h6, and white has only one rook and some pawns against a knight, a rook and queen. And do you remember? You have to continue to play all the game. And here, my subscriber, after a totally crazy game, after a lot of sacrifice in a completely attacking style, decide to continue the game. And what happens is simply crazy, because after some move, okay, this move is really strong. After a5, this queen now, queen c3 is attacking this pawn with check. Okay, we have rook g3 to defend this pawn. We have queen e1, king g2, knight e3, check, king h3, and now we have f4. And f4 is a deadly move, because here black could win in a lot of way, could move his rook, could move his queen, could do everything. The best move is knight d5, okay, knight d5, and the knight is coming here, and this is a check, and here white is losing in free move. White has to push, and this is check. After king move, this is checkmate, okay. But here, instead of knight e3, black decide to push f4. And now white can move nothing. If you see, well, this pawn can be pushed, this pawn can be pushed, this pawn can be pushed. This king is blocked because this knight is controlling the square, and the only square for the king is h4. But look at this, we have a wonderful combination of stalemate, rook g6. Can you believe it? Now the queen is controlling the h4 square, and there is no move for the white king. And after black capture, we have a draw. An incredible draw by white that here can't move nothing. And I want to show you in this position against black, draw. And this is why you have to continue to play all the game, okay, because here black decide to capture, and this is a draw. But I want to show you this interesting endgame. What can you do here with black? You can do nothing. If you continue to move your king, white continue to do a check, okay? It's not important. You can never take this rook. With the rook, if you take with the rook, if you take with the king, white continue to play this check, okay? And because the queen is guarding this square with the knight, and there is no move. And obviously the probability to do this thing in chess are so slow, but when happen, you think it's impossible, but really happen in this game. And when I saw this game, I was like, such an incredible draw. How can you draw this position and happen? So you have to believe it, that you can do. And you can do some check. But now I want to show you a really interesting line, because the point is here white can draw if continue to do a check, and black can draw. Yeah, and black can survive if he's able to bring his king in a square that is not checked for the rook, okay? But there is a problem. If white continues in this way, there is no way to escape from this cage, okay? Every move is check, and now you just continue in this way, okay? Or doesn't change nothing, I showed you before. But if white, after this check, I want to show you this, after like this check, try to play something like this, okay, or this in this position, the king escape, and this is not more perpetual check. Can you believe? Black can escape. Look at this. Do you see the plan of, if you continue to give a check, this knight can cover, and when this knight is moved, can you see the king will come here or here, because this knight is not controlling more the g4 square, the g2 square. So if in this position black is able to block a check with the knight, with the queen, one of his pieces that is controlling this square, okay, black can avoid the draw. And here it is not important if, for example, white takes this pawn after this check, I wanted to show you. Take this rook, sorry. After this check, if king come here, white has to continue to do this check, okay? But if here rook take, this is a losing position because black doesn't take the rook, okay? Doesn't take the rook, just moves the queen, and this is losing for white. And this is a crazy line, and white in the end can really draw, but have to continue to do a check in this way, okay? So after king h3, the f4 move is a deadly move because this pawn can be pushed, and this is a draw after rook g6. Thank you really much for watching my video, and I hope this video enjoy you like always. And we have this crazy sacrifice just to open the G file to try to attack in this way, to double up with the rook in this way, instead to capture this bishop, instead, sorry, to save this rook, try to double up, and we have a double rook sacrifice. No, not a double, but a rook sacrifice. And in this position with only a rook, white draws. So thank you really much, and remember to subscribe to my channel, and see you soon, okay? Thank you, bye bye.